Hello, welcome back to Conversation with my artist friend. Tonight we have actually we saw each other like a few days ago when I was talking with Nadine Robbins, and I'm still really proud of this conversation because she's amazing. But tonight we have a very, very talented artist that she's a very young girl, beautiful, coming from Chile. I don't know how to spell it in English. And we met each other because she's managing the social media of IBEX Insiders, which is a group in Facebook that I'm a part of it, and I met so many talented people. So tonight we have the pleasure finally to see and to meet our Sthef Milan. I guess I pronounce it really well, and I'm gonna invite her. She's gonna say to me if I said it the right way. I don't know. So, of course, all insiders are coming to see this live conversation, are able to ask anything to Sthef because she's here to answer. Oh, good evening, Sthef. How are you? Good to see
Hello, Georgia. How are
you.
you?
Oh, I'm very happy that we are matching our colors.
Yes, pink rules.
Yeah, so my color is going away, but you keep it because you are young. You can do that. I like to play sometimes with colors. So glad to have you here. I'm really happy that we can meet Sthef to know. Actually, tell me if I pronounce it really in a good way. Your surname, Sthef Milan or Milan?
Milan.
Milan, like where I live, almost. So, Steph, it's a pleasure, really. Uh, I don't know how many months, it's already more than a year that you are managing IBEX Insiders, and you know a lot of artists that you're working, I mean, as a manager, social manager, or social community manager in IBEX Insider. So you are doing a really good job. I can see all your posts are really interesting. And we are very curious to see finally who is managing this beautiful group and who is this girl behind the scene. So tell about us, because you are also an artist and I saw all your work are beautiful. Congratulations, really. You've done a really good job.
Thanks. Oh, well, thank you so much for inviting me to have this nice conversation. I'm super glad we're having this space, like it's something super open and homemade, but I really appreciate it. That's the way I like it, actually. And yes, I started working with the IBEX team like a year ago, almost like a year ago,
Yeah.
might be less, after Haley had to leave. I took her place, kind of. I don't know if I'm doing this like as she did, but it has been an amazing experience. I've get to know a lot of people, a lot of talented artists, and also it's a nice community to like keep in touch, share things and ideas about art that are not only related to one's job. I mean, I don't come to the group to talk about just myself. We're there to share ideas, to inspire others, possibly, and of course, all the new initiatives we're having, like the Dream Fund, the one-on-one critiques with David and Kiki. And so far, it has been an amazing experience. I'm super glad to have the opportunity to know so many talented artists. And well, about myself, I'm just exploring the art world. I don't consider myself a professional in any way, but I've always been interested in art. And I've always painted since I was a child. So I'm really into that, and I want to see how far I can get that.
But I saw that you started already, I believe in 2013, you had already your solo or something like that.
Yes, something like that because I was too, I was a kid, basically. I had just like, I was 16 years old, I think, and
Wow.
I had my first solo exhibition in Caracas, Venezuela, and it was an amazing experience too, but it was like too amateur, it was nothing too serious. And anyways, I got to sell some things there, so it was super motivating for me. Uh, Yes, that was like the thing that told me, keep doing this.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, after that, last year, last month actually, I had my first group exhibition, a show in which many talented Venezuelan artists participated in New York, and that was like the last event I participated in.
But that's amazing already, yeah. It's a nice achievement. It's a good, well done. I mean, but you work especially for, I mean, as a IT or how do you, I mean, you are not a professional artist, of course, we understood, but so the other work that you do beside is doing managing, of course, for IBEX, then other.
Yes, my main job, my full-time job is content and PR manager at a technology startup. So it's very different. We're like working with technology for the environment, and it's a very disruptive thing, and it really does take up a lot of time. So my other like full-time job is working with the whole team at the IBEX Art Insiders. And my other job is, like try to be an artist. And I have my schedule. I have a super tight schedule. Everything is super like organized, measured, in order to avoid those creative blocks or, like therefore burnout syndrome that obviously can happen when you have a lot of things in mind. So I always try to get super organized with schedules because I'm doing so many things at the moment that I cannot allow myself to have a burnout syndrome or anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right.
yes,
So you looks really a very organized girl. I mean, I can see, even though because to manage such a big group like IBEX, you have to be like this. And I saw that you are on point also sometimes that you keep your point, you keep an eye to see what the others are writing, whatever, or you take a while maybe to post something or because probably you are checking everything or whatever in your way. I mean, to manage all the people. What about when sorry to ask you all the curiosity related about the group, but of course we have to because mainly, I mean, most of the people that are joining are insiders. So when you see a post that a very beautiful, talented artist is posting, and you see it for the first time, you have to prove, or anyhow, you are going to check. And you can see before than everybody, and it's what happened inside of you. Give me some of your insight about when you see all these art in this group, what happened to you?
okay, yeah. For those of you who don't know, uh, before the posts are approved in the group, I have to see them first, and in order to know if it's appropriate or anything. We don't have those things like censorship or anything, but Facebook does. So sometimes I need to, like decline or censor some of them because Facebook has its own rules. But besides that, the emotion when I get to see a really fantastic artwork before it's going to be published is like I feel like it's a privilege to get to know the artwork before the rest of the group, of course.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but also it's super interesting because the artwork itself tells a lot about the artist. So when I'm interested in one in particular,
yeah,
I go to that profile and I keep scrolling and obviously I stalk them a little bit. in order to see what else the artist has to offer, you know. And after that, of course, I approve the post. I sometimes make some comments or let people, you know, like run the conversation. But usually what I do after I notice that a post is really interesting and the painting is amazing is that I talk to David and Kiki and tell them like, you know, we should put an eye on this artist because it's doing
This is,
amazing things.
yeah, this is was I was just going to ask you. So there is, I mean, you are going even to suggest or give them an eye or to give them attention to this or that talented artist. This is awesome. This is beautiful because in a way you have to put an eye even to be, how to say, when you discover someone, um it doesn't come, it will come to me in my mind, the right word, but it's good when you are discovering a talent, so it is a beautiful
Yeah.
sensation.
Yes, especially we like to have those kind of conversations and feedback with artists within the group, and we love reading your comments and everything because from there we get to know who is more active, and we highly value that. So in most of cases, what we do is we let people, the members of the group, run the conversation, and yeah, after that, and after I stalk all the artists, I do my research job there, and some of them apply for the Dream Fund. Some of them are like having exhibitions all over the world. So it's super interesting in those cases to, you know, like give them a hand if they need it.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. It is a really
I
beautiful
think,
job. It is a really beautiful job. If there is someone that want to ask anything to
yes, I'm
Steph,
reading the comments
if there
and
is
the people who have joined. Thank you so much for being here.
thank you guys. Yes, they join. I mean, I can see a lot of our friends.
Yes, there are a lot of insiders.
Yes, I can see. I am checking. Yeah. So even yes, next Sunday we will have another beautiful conversation with one of the very good artists that we have in Insiders.
Yeah, I love that conversation with Eugen Varsic last week.
I'm,
He,
I'm grateful. Yeah, it
he
was.
has a lot of career in art, so I respect him a lot.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's. I'm really happy to see that it's being recognized even internationally by the name. I mean, it's a very beautiful. I mean, I can't imagine how excited it is. But also all the other conversation they've been quite interesting. All of the conversation are unique because we are all unique. So it's coming. Yes. Okay, guys. Very good. Yeah. So let's say
Comment. Hi, Olta. Thanks.
our friends. Okay. So,
Yeah,
but then,
so I was last Sunday, I think, I was reading some article that caught my attention. This article talked about the gap between male and female artists, and I think this is a nice chance to discuss that a little bit because
yeah,
we're women, both of us. And I saw something that discouraged me a little bit, but at the same time gave me like um, some sort of motivation to keep, you know, like painting and doing this thing we're doing with the IBEX Art Insiders. And the gap was basically between the art market, at least here in South America, the gap is super, you know, like 80% of the art market is dominated by male artists, and just like 20%, I think 20 to 15% is by women, by
yeah,
female artists. So it's a very huge gap there. But I think like spaces like this one, and right now we have so many social media platforms that we as women, as artists, need to, like take advantage of in order to let us know more artists and, like make some awareness, create some awareness.
Yeah, we were talking, me and Nadine Robbins, about this topic, and we are agreed that we have to do one kind of special conversation related about this topic, because it is something that is touching. I mean, as a I mean, as a woman, it's a bit annoying, but this is the word, like woman. In the end, we have these problems since we say the first. We saw the first time out this word. So unfortunately, it is like that. But we should talk about this, and we need to understand. In 2022, we are still facing this kind of problems in the world. So has to stop in a way, because it's annoying, no? It is annoying.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I think we, more than before, we now have the tools and the talent, of course, and the resources to make that
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
I would definitely hope for a future in which we are like 50-50,
Yeah.
or even more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like to cut up a little bit that gap
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
ideal.
It has to be 50-50 for sure, equal. And the same time, when someone is, I mean, if you become in 5 years a really big artist, a professional artist, and you are good in what you do, uh, they don't have to look at you as a woman. You have to look at you as an artist and be equal like all the others. So, and the value, even because the value of your paintings, of your artworks, usually now they are less than a man, like it's the signature, it's from a woman, the value it's a bit less. So we have to understand why that's not really fair. But the word in this way, I mean, we can do so many things. We were saying last time with Nadine, probably because I'm not a feminist, but that's the true woman. They can do so many. We are multitasking, as you said to me a few days ago. So yes, of course, we can be even a mother, because we can carry on for 9 months, a baby growing in our body, something that for sure others they can. I mean, just a woman can do that. So we are in a way already perfect as a human being, no, for this, because we are able to do something that the men they can do. So we have to understand that, first of all, it's the woman that has to understand that we are already a whole human being. When the woman, okay, let's see what probably less, less. Good evening. So I was saying, so it's the woman that has to understand that we have value. It's we have to try to skip and this way of thinking, because me and you, we can talk about this topic because we are aware. But many women, they are not aware. They are still using their just beauty, for example, to feel empowered. Right? So to play devil's advocate a little, how can you achieve 50-50? Surely that's determined by the buyers, not by the artist. That's correct.
Yes, but what about there were more female collectors, for example, more female, I start with collectors because they are the ones who buy art, but as artists, we ourselves have to make that like speak out, like make our voice be heard. And that's why I was talking previously about the power of social media, because we're having this, we can make something from this without having to depend on anyone for those reasons. So it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be like, yes, we're now um, we're now over that gap and we're now 80-20, for example. I think it's more generational, and I think as the world evolves, I hope also the generational and the genre gap, it's going to change. I don't know if that answers the question. Yes.
Internet is silly? Really? So there is a question. Did you see this question? So do you paint only what you feel in the moment, or are there certain themes that you want to highlight as a woman that are not exactly related to your daily life? Uh,
Whoa, that's
oh,
deep.
this is very interesting.
That's deep. I think it's a little bit of both, because you might have an idea that you want to, from which you want to create a concept, but it happens suddenly that you're not in the mood to, like work on that concept specifically. So you shouldn't let your emotions guide you in that way, because that's what discipline's for. But at the same time, you need emotion to know what you're going to paint next. So more than things related to my daily life, I think I paint more existential things, like uh, those deep thoughts that are always with me but not reflected in my daily life. So it's a mix of both, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but what we were talking before about the woman, I mean, and these topics, I mean, it can be a very nice theme to be communicated in the painting. Like you did already something that it's touching, because I saw the black and white with the yellow. I mean, no, I saw something. No, I'm sorry, I have to see it again. But I think it was something related about woman and ah. I have just spotted the guitar in the background. Okay, Steph, probably are you going to play for us? Yeah, why not?
No,
The guitar, because
that's
Les is a musician also. He is so talented, this guy. He is amazing, Les. He is incredible. He is really talented. So probably because he is a musician, he wants to see if you can play something, because you are all a big artist.
oh
Complete.
no,
No,
that guitar is merely a decoration. I won't play. There's no way I can play right now.
I'm not good to play any kind of instruments, because I love music, but certainly I love to listen music when I paint. And actually, this is another something. It's another topic that it was popping in my mind a few days ago, because I don't know. For me, for example, I don't know if it works the same way for you, but depend on my mood and what I have to paint, I go finding different kind of music, from the classic to the rock music. The same for
Yeah.
you.
Oh my God, I have such a long playlist that I can't really put into words how important music is for finding inspiration in art. And I've been a musician when I was a kid until, like 5 years ago, and not anymore because I don't have really the time to focus on that. But I love music, so it has been always a very important part of my life, even in art, and it has been with me almost forever. So I have such a long playlist and all types of genres, like from progressive rock to classical music as well,
Wow.
from rap and more modern things to, like Baroque or yes, more classical, but mixed with metal, a lot of metal. And yeah, that somehow kind of reflects on the painting too. Not like directly, but I mean, you can get some vibes from there. And answering to the question you asked me before, Georgia, I think I relate that to feminine sexuality and sexuality. Like, it's very important to me to, like express that part, not only in art, but in daily life. Why not? I mean, it's super important. So I try to convey that message not only through the music, but also in the paintings. Um, and yeah, music is everything, in short.
Um, I believe also there is a part of us that when we are maybe struggling, we are under stress. For me, it works a lot even to do meditation, listening music. It's there is a kind of I mean, when you are in front of your canvas, I don't know how it was from you for you the first time. Try Vivaldi on guitar. Yes, yes, for sure. Now, in a second, we'll make it for you. So
It
I was
reminds me.
saying,
Oh my gosh.
I was saying that for me, I remember the first time I was in front of my first canvas when I was like, I was already a mom, so I started very late. But you started very young, you were 16. So then the first time in front of the canvas, because probably maybe you started sketching something, and then how was it the first time you had scared, you had fear?
My first time in front of a canvas was actually at 9. I was 9 years old, and I remember exactly what I was painting because I was about to enter a competition, and I was painting the artwork for that competition, and it was like a fragment of a piece done by Arturo Michelena, which is
Mhm.
a very well-known Venezuelan artist. And this piece was like a lot of puppies sleeping together, super cute. But I tried just focus on one of the puppies, and that was what I was painting for that particular competition. So my first reaction was like, this is too big. I won't finish it in any way. But I had a teacher at that time that was super patient, and she was always like teaching me how to mix the colors, how to do the fine lines, etc. So I ended up painted that, and I won the competition actually.
Wow.
Um, yes, yes. And after that, I remember my parents were super proud of that. They framed it, and they still have it at my house in
Nice.
Venezuela. But I mean, I like it, but that's not my best work. So I always tell them, like, get rid of that, and they don't want to.
No, of
But
course. Of course, of
those were
course.
all the feelings of that particular first impression with a
But
canvas.
any artist to be proud of his first piece, because this is when that's history. It's your history. I mean, this is a sign, a moment in your life when you started to do something that you really love. Yeah, there are people that, let's say hi to everybody, because I'm very glad that people that are joining our conversation, because it seems to be something interesting. There is a guy that really, I think, is one of your big follower, because he wrote a lot, and I'm glad that he's with us.
Yeah,
So
she's
we're
not.
talking about the meditation. Do you meditate? I mean, sometimes there is something that helps you to vibrate higher when you are a little bit down, when you are a little bit under stress. If it ever happened that you are under stress, you're so young.
Yeah, but I do deal with a lot of stress in my daily life because I've been responsible for myself like since I was 21. That's a little late compared to European standards, but here in Latin America, the lifestyle is a little bit different. So being independent at the age of 21 is like an achievement. So I've been struggling and dealing with lots of anxiety issues, which I tend to, mitigate by by journaling. Having a personal journal is super important and super helpful in those cases. I like to meditate, but I'm not so good at it. I prefer doing yoga, like for stretching my body to feel good. But I'm not so good at meditating yet. I like those, but I'm not so good at it. I found other ways, like listening to music with headphones while I'm, like taking a walk, I just go upstairs and
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
the
yeah.
birds.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's my kind of meditation.
Yeah, it is a very good practice, because it's, if it's the way that give you balance, give you right, you centered yourself, that's your way, like probably maybe at my age, because yoga or moving or walking just give you uh, something, because you are moving, you are still active, so probably you need to move more. For me, I need to stay more within, so I prefer to meditate, because I like to fly with my mind. I like to be completely in another world. When you meditate and you are able to stay there, then you will see that later on, when you will be older than now, or old like me, then you will see there is, I mean, yes, say I. And so we were, I don't know if you were listening, but you said already that you were listening the conversation with Eugene. We were talking about even the NFT, and we were talking, we did a workshop with David Wilson about NFT. In few days, I'm doing a conversation with an expert. Actually, she's a young girl like you. She's really, really talented in what she's doing. She's a professional in NFT, and I believe she's the one that helped Emanuele Dascanio to do the NFT. So we have to keep an eye to talk even with her. But from your point of view, would you love to do an NFT later on, or maybe it's not your time? It's not the time now, because you are doing already IT. I'm sure you love even NFT, most probably.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that because I don't quite understand the blockchain. I mean, the Ethereum platform is still a little bit confusing to me, but I mean, I don't have to quite understand that to make some NFTs. So I have that planned for by the end of the year. Um, but I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do. I guess I will need some, like a few marketing people who can help me with the campaigns. But yes, I usually work with a nice designer. He's an expert in, like conveying the message through images that can sell. So I'll be working with him in order to get which kind of innovative thing we can do about the art itself. But yeah, that's not like a short-term plan for now. I really like to learn a little bit more first, and I ask everybody. I ask every artist I know about that, and I always get different answers. I always get different approaches, and my last approach was actually the experience of Emanuele Lascanio, and he has been very successful by in selling his NFTs.
Absolutely.
So I look forward to talking to him eventually in order to ask him a little bit more what or how did he do it, but it's a little bit confusing to me still, so I won't take that deep dive into NFTs yet.
Yeah, you're not ready yet. Yes, I think it is completely a word that it's so, I mean, it's such new things that many of us, we have to really, uh, we are still understanding how it works. I understood a little bit, but we will see, because it takes time. And for now, I have to be focused more on other things and more tangible than NFT, but it is something really attracting, really interesting. So when there is something new related about IT, for sure, I'm very into it. So we'll see
Yeah,
later. But in your
especially now
apps,
that the universe is about to go like public, everyone is super hyped with the metaverse. So I guess
yeah,
it would be a nice opportunity to know some things in advance, because
yeah.
that might be a way to sell your art besides the physical world.
Mm, 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 mm. Allora, yeah, to everybody. What about, I mean, how is the perception of art in your country? Has it been, I mean, how is
Well,
there? Where we are in, because I'm Italian, I'm in Italy, you know, already we have Florence. I mean, it's a completely different country. Really, also, if it's still for some reason a little bit stuck, some people they're a little bit stuck on back in time, like already maybe 20 years ago, for some reason in the art field. And how is it in your country?
yeah, I've been living in Chile only for 2 years by now, so I don't really have like the real insight of what art it's like here. But I've been noticing a couple of things with regards to the art market. And I've noticed that most of successful artists, of contemporary successful artists, are, like hired by um, private galleries. So it's like an elite world here. Not everyone has access. And if you do, you have to make sure you have a solid and robust body of work. So it's not too common for young artists to get into that market.
Mm,
I mean, I've known a few exceptions like Guillermo Garcia Lorca, like even Sergio Martinez, who is an IBEX master. He's
yeah.
not, but he's Chilean, and he started his career here. So they have been, like those exceptions, which I'm looking forward to get to know a little bit better too. But yes, it's more like an elite world. Not everybody has access. But besides that, there are a lot like of public institutions, museums, and like open spaces, and you just have to look for that up. You have to make a nice proposal and have a lot of contacts, and if you don't have them, best thing is to contact them directly, and let's hope that I can make it. That's like your final line when you're talking to those kind of spaces or museums. And I lived in Argentina before, so there I noticed is completely different. The art world is more like hippie, like they have spaces, free spaces, and public galleries, and all those kinds of things more open to the public. But collectors are mainly here, not in Argentina. So that's like the difference.
Hi, Alexandra. Hello, John Stratton. Good evening. It's such a pleasure to see all of you guys here. This is because of you, most probably. Because of you, Steph. Because you are our manager. So it's
Thank you
good
for
to see
being
all
here,
these
guys.
beautiful people here. So you're saying that there, I mean, the collectors there, what is the kind of art they prefer over there? What they buy more in your country? I mean, for whatever you, or even from you where you're from. You
Yeah, because I don't have like a specific country. I'm a citizen of the world.
exactly. You're almost like me. Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
let's say maybe in Venezuela, how does it work? I mean, where the people they are focused on which kind of art they like more abstract realism, hyper realism.
Uh, well, the art movement there was amazing since Cruz Diez. He's an amazing artist. He has a lot of international well-known shows, known by his oh my God, I don't remember the name in English, but it's more like up
Say your
art.
language. Say your language. I love it.
It's up art, I think,
Mm.
optic art. He's a very well-known artist there. He died like he passed away like 3 years ago, I guess. But from there, he established like a new movement in Venezuela, um, for contemporary art. So it's more focused on geometry, geometria. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Geometry,
Uh,
geometric.
yeah, geometric art. And also like realism, but it's more focused on social political issues, like the pure
Yeah,
realism, but with
yeah.
contemporary. Um, I noticed that in Argentina, for example, there is a lot of abstract art and it's highly valued. And here, they value like a lot of installations, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, installations are the thing right now. And like figurative art in our case, because that's like the dominant art like movement in IBEX. With regards to figurative art, it's like it's a small market, and many of the artists that start with figurative, hyper-realistic art tend to go to Europe to establish themselves, because they have like collectors here that send them there, like to Spain, to London, and so on.
Interesting.
So I think the whole South America is a mixture of everything, as
Mhm.
we are historically too.
Yeah, but
So
I
we're
mean,
influenced by many things.
yeah, even the word of the abstract, I mean, it's working everywhere in the world, by the way. Abstractism, it's something that everybody loves. I mean, I mean, I like to paint more realism than I mean, figurative art, and we love hyperrealism, of course. But even abstract, it sounds something very interesting. I saw that something that you've done, or also there are parts of the abstract work in your pieces.
Yes, I'm highly inspired by abstract expressionism at the moment. I've been reading some books, doing some research, and practicing, uh, like to get my hand loose a little bit. And I find it highly interesting, the whole concept of abstract expressionism. And yes, I'm trying to include that into figurative art too,
Yeah,
but like harmoniously
yeah.
and smoothly. But it's quite difficult to me because I'm still exploring a lot of things. I'm not like focused
It's a
on
strange
just one
because
style.
yeah, it is. Was saying a bit because I believe for me, abstract need even a big space, a little bit of space, because you need really abstract is something. It's not, I mean, figurative or hyperrealism work. You have to be there. Of course, you take a step back and you see, but it works in a completely different way. With abstract, it's something that moves inside. You need an urge to use this color, this material more than, and it's up to so many other things. Up to need space. So to to combine figurative art and the abstract, it takes a very good eye and even a big space because it's a lot of work with
Yes,
material.
it takes a lot of experimentation, a lot of practice, and it really does take up a lot of time to include those two, like in a smooth and sensitive way.
Mm, 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 mm.
So that's like my main objective right now, like get to combine those two without uh, having it, like forced. And I'm highly inspired by Henrik Uldalen's work too. I don't know if you know him, but
No,
he's the Norwegian artist, and I can share some of their artwork in my
yeah,
stories.
please,
I
yeah.
love.
Chuck Close.
I don't know him. Les
No, Chuck Close.
was too close.
Looks more a musician than for me. I'm joking because he knows that
Probably
could be ironic a little bit. Yeah.
too closer.
Say, can you say more, less than we will know about it, or you can even send them maybe a link so everybody they can go and see their work, his work. So we are here waiting to see if there is So where are all the other insiders? And let's talk about ibex. Just one thing that I forgot to ask you. I'm
Yes,
curious. Of
go on.
course, when I joined the group, I was so impressed about the work of Marco Grassi. Of course, he's Italian. And I was really interested because he said many times that he's a self-taught artist, and he learned so a lot through even, I don't know, YouTube, webinars, workshop. And now we saw where he is. I mean, he is such a detailed,
Out of this
perfect.
world.
I don't know, he's out of this world. So, have you ever talked with him? And did you discover something? Maybe you give us some secret? No, secret, no, because I know that you cannot say something related to some artist. But I mean, have you ever talked with him, and did you see something, or you can tell us about some masters? That they're, I don't know, whatever. I mean, I'm very curious to see if one day maybe I would love to talk with him, but then this is we will see later on when I'll be more, maybe it will be more interesting for him to talk with me, maybe not now.
Yeah,
So
I talked to him a few times. I don't quite remember what I asked him, but I know I asked him something very specific about his use of the brush. I think I asked something about a liner, I think. But what I've noticed Marco does is that he's a very disciplined person, and I know he's not managing his own social media. So in his case, he has to focus on his art, and he's doing that exclusively. So he needs a person who is in charge of their social media, of course. And that's another thing that takes up a lot of time.
yeah,
So
absolutely, yes,
so
absolutely.
yeah, uh, and
This is
I think
a nice curiosity that you gave us. This is very interesting to know. Thank you.
yeah, most of the artists are not managing their own social media at the moment because they have one focus. And after, I don't know, if the focus is just finishing one painting, they won't touch his or her social media until they have finished that particular painting. And after that, I mean, we're human beings. We, of course, want some interaction, and they probably will do it, but most of the time there's a social media or community manager behind those accounts.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean you won't get to talk with the artist or anything, but you have to take that in consideration because I mean the full-time artist is not too focused on social media right now. Or if he is, like, you know, Andrew Tischler, who's making a living by his YouTube videos, for example, you will have to be more focused. But in either case, you need a staff or at least one person to help you out with some things.
yeah. Sorry, I want to go ahead with the last 1 second because Chuck Close, of course, I know is him. You know, for a second, because we were talking about music, I've been so ignorant. I really say sorry. Chuck Close, I mean, he passed away actually a few months ago. He was a huge artist, of course, very well known, and hyperrealism work. He's a major artist. I don't know why uh, he didn't come to my mind. I don't know why. I thought that he was somebody else, but yes, of course, less amazing. He was amazing,
Yeah.
and
That reference made me remind him,
yeah,
and I also remind what's her name? Lisa Monks. Lisa Monks is a hyper realist artist too, and she, when you get to watch her artwork from very close distance, you
mhm,
see it's totally abstract.
yeah,
Like even her brushstrokes are super loose, but when you see that, like from far away is super hyper realistic. That
Yeah,
implies a knowledge of color and proportions like
yeah,
out of this world.
absolutely. Yeah. And do you like to do like to sketch or to use graphite or did a lot of graphite work? I mean, working with both.
Yes, yes, I like to sketch. I really like scientific illustrations,
Yeah.
and
Do you have
yeah, I
any,
found
do you have any kind
um
of work beside you that
like
Alice
a
isn't a hyper realist? He said less. Ah, yeah. Yeah, can I couldn't see really well, but
no, those are like things I do when I'm trying to get creative at my full-time job. So I try to, lose my hand doing some simple, tiny illustrations just
yeah,
to.
yeah, yes, it's good. It's a good exercise, and you've done. It is really good what you showed me now. Yeah. So did
Yeah.
you what Les wrote? As he said, Lisa isn't hyper realist, but you said the realist, no? Realism.
Uh, well, I differ less. Her recent artwork is not, but I've seen some previous pieces that to me they are hyper realistic. I suggest you go to her website, and if you find her works from I think 2014 or 15, maybe you get a little bit more realistic or hyper realistic approach. Not totally, but it's more than now. She's now like I dare to say more surrealist, maybe at least on her themes.
Yeah, see, sorry, there is someone. So Les, well, you can answer to, you can go and check probably. Maybe it was my, let's say, may I put David Wilson? He said maybe a rule of, you can read would be that it's someone is not painting every hair and eyelash individually, then they are not even close. And if they are, then it will be a, okay.
Okay. May I quote David Wilson? Yes, of course. Maybe a rule of thumb would be that if someone is not painting every hair and eyelash individually, then they're not even close, and if they are, they would be a matter of looking at everything else.
Yeah. Mm.
That's a nice quote. Actually, yes, I agree. Um, I'm thinking about another artist who can fit into that category, but I'm not quite sure. Do you have any idea, Les?
For
Anyone?
sure.
I'm thinking about a specific artist that can fit into that category.
Oh,
I
but
mean, not an English master,
it's
another
okay.
one.
It's okay. It's okay. Which one is the master that you love most? I mean, your favorite? There is one. Can you say no? You can't say. There are
No,
also.
yes, I can.
I
Of
mean,
course, I
not talking
can.
about. Of course, here we are not talking about because if you can say. I mean, there is a. I mean, for sure there is someone that you prefer than other. There is nothing wrong with that because someone they are all good. It's a matter of taste or maybe something that communicate more to you than others. If you can
Yes.
feel
Um,
comfortable to say, if you don't say. I
no,
like
yes, of
all of
course, I
them.
can say it. I want to say it. My favorite is The Portrait of Desire by Sergio. That's like the theme, the composition, everything. It's just magnificent. I can watch that piece like for hours.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
yeah,
And Les is saying here Hellwing, like Gottfried Hellwing. Yes, but he is like retouching with oils his own photographs. So I mean, like 90% of his work is like that. He takes the photographs and they printed, I don't know, like a big scale, and after that he retouches it with oil paintings. Uh, but I'm not sure if that fits.
So
Mhm.
probably it's nice that yes, I like this conversation. I like it. So there is anyhow. Let's see 1 second because I saw probably I don't want to skip a question because I saw someone who was writing something, then was checking was less what he wrote, and then I missed it probably. Just checking to make sure that we didn't. No, no, it was someone saying another Venezuelan artist supporting a Venezuelan artist. Is it true?
Where's that?
It's back a little bit. I'm telling you, is the Revenant 260. 260. I don't know if he's still with us.
I
Is
don't
that
know.
I thought that he was a question. No, then only less. He wrote something. So, where do you wanna? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, my dear Sthef? Do you see yourself as a professional artist? Do you see yourself managing more social media, or where do you see yourself? What do you want to go actually as an artist? Probably is the question.
Yeah, I want to become a little bit more experienced in several things regarding technique, regarding, you know, like my own statement. I want to keep practicing because I think that's the most important thing for an artist, the practice. And with regard to the social media management and the group, I think I will be probably working with IBEX as long as life itself allows it, because I really enjoy that. So I wouldn't choose between doing this or the other. I want to do everything, but you know, like I'm gonna take my time. You know, like learn. That's my main goal, actually. Keep learning and see where that takes me from there.
Yeah, next step you should go in Germany to see the lab.
Yes, yes.
So,
Probably next year I'm going to visit the art lab, and I still have to, you know, like do some logistics with Albrecht and with Eddie and even David. I don't know if we're going to meet there, like the whole team. It would be amazing. But if not, equally, I would visit the IBEX art lab soon.
but
If I
next year, what do you mean for the next year? I hope you're not saying 2023 already. We just started 2022.
Yeah, but I don't know how COVID it will would
No.
evolve. But by this year, I don't really have like a plan to travel abroad. Um, but maybe like January, February next year, I'm going to be there watching artworks from the IBEX Art Lab, hopefully.
Yeah, because to see all this masterpiece in front of you, it's a completely another feeling, and of course, it will open your heart majesty. I mean, I'm not far away. I was thinking to make it one day, but of course, as you said, COVID. Actually, I'm negative from yesterday, so I'm out of COVID. I'm COVID free now. I'm so happy to say that to my friends. So whenever you're gonna meet, I'm safe. I'm not gonna bring any kind of COVID anymore. I hope so, and let's hope that really we will start. Maybe after the summer, a new year. But for me, it's a new year after the summer, free of this kind of mad situation because we are all tired to
Yeah.
deal with this restriction and not able to travel, to meet people, to work, or but maybe you for work, because if you go there and it's a kind of your work, maybe you can still travel for work in Germany. So maybe you can make it even a bit before.
Yeah,
So,
hopefully, I'm free
yeah,
too. I got my third vaccine yesterday. No, 2 days ago.
yeah,
Yesterday, I was completely dead, as
yeah,
you might be. And but now I feel better, and I hope that this whole suffering from yesterday was worth it, because I really want to take the opportunity to travel abroad and to get to know the team, because by the time we have only met in video calls, not
yeah.
in person.
We have to organize something. You have to be the one in charge to organize the IBEX insider trip, something like that. I mean, you should talk with a big, huge hotel, very nice one, to bring all of us and to celebrate this big community. We are really looking forward to do that. I'm sure even some masters they gonna join because I'm sure they love us. So, but I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave this conversation or leave you before saying something related about you said to me. I was asking about in 5 years what you want to see you answered, but um, what you are looking forward to see in an IBEX group as a next step. And
What a nice question. I really want. I mean, I want several things. I don't know if everything's going to happen, but I'm expecting, like if COVID, if we get over it, like having a salon, but a physical salon, like old school, pre-COVID, having, like an exhibition, a group exhibition of art insiders. I don't know if
yeah,
America, Europe, whatever it is.
yeah,
I would love to see that happening. I would love to see that there are a lot of talented artists within the group that are not IBEX masters, but they have the potential to do so and to be a part of it. So I'm really expecting that we take that a little bit further, and we probably work with some of the artists, the new artists that are included there, and hopefully we can continue with the Dream Fund. That's like my main three expectations.
yeah. When you're ready to talk about the Dream Farm, maybe one day you knock on my door and say, Georgia, let's talk about the Dream Farm because it was a very nice, not nice, it's not even enough to say. It was a very beautiful things to do. I mean, from IBEX, I can say that all of them, the IBEX collectors are just amazing people. I'm not saying, as I said to even David Wilson, because I like to please. No, I'm not this kind of person, but they are very unique people, very unique, really special people. So
Yeah,
with
especially now that it has been more difficult to get in contact or in touch with collectors from all over the world. And that's curious, because it should have been easier with all the technology and stuff, but they are really hard to reach. And that's not the case within the IBEX community. You can write or text them whenever you want, and they will answer
yeah,
when they have the time, of course, but they will.
yeah, yeah, always it happens. All for me, it will, yeah, it happened all the time with me like this. Yes. So, how do you want to say hi to all these people? They join us because of you today. What do you want to wish for them, or to wish to yourself for this future?
Yeah, no, I want to thank everybody who joined. It was a really nice conversation. Thanks to you, Georgia.
Ah, you,
I really had a great time, and everyone who commented here in the section, made questions and answers, and clarified some things that I just like forgot. Thank you, every one of you. And well, I wish you tons of health and success, but especially health, because we're now in a difficult time and we need that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yes, yes.
for
Yeah.
those of you who are artists, I wish you a lot of inspiration and motivation to keep working and following your dreams.
And I want to leave you with this. So try from now to prepare an exhibition for all the IBEX insiders. Right, guys? Starting from now, is start to check all the artists, they are good, that you like it, show it to David, and then one day, maybe David Wilson with the IBEX collection, they can open a huge museum or galleries for all the talented people that they are on a shades, because sometimes, you know, there are very talented artists and then you don't see them. Maybe they are scared, they are shy, and they don't want to show themselves because they don't have maybe the not the personality is not, because you can see the personality through their artwork, but maybe they don't have this skill to make them glow, you know. So
Yes,
is it
yes. Last thing from my side is that if you people who are watching this, if you ever feel like you need some kind of help or boost with your social media, you can text me via Facebook or via Instagram, and I could help you out a little bit with that. So yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you
thank
for your Georgia,
thank
and I'm super glad
love.
you have. Yes, I'm super glad you have invited me to this conversation. I'm looking forward to see what other artists are coming.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. You will see next Sunday. We have a woman. It's a woman. Even this time. Next time, maybe a man, but next Sunday is gonna be another beautiful woman and beautiful artist. You know that you are the first one that we made it more than 1 hour. It's almost 1 hour and 10 minutes. So it was a very nice conversation. We make it. And Steph, looking forward to talk with you next time with some news from IBEX or from you about your work, about your solo or anything. And I'm here all the time. And thank you everybody to join, guys. Thank you. So next one, it is gonna be Thursday about NFT. So
I'll be there.
gonna
I'll be
see me
there.
another time in the middle of the week. Usually it's only on Sunday, but the special one, special conversation talking about something, or with masters, or because of a different kind of topic. It's in the middle of the week, Wednesday or Thursday. So the next one is gonna be about NFT. So thank you again, Steph. It was
Thank
lovely.
you.
Thank you. You are very talented, gentle human being, really. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to you. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.